through the window of her West Baltimore row home.
I didn't think nothing would never happen like that in my family, but I see it could. It did.
Vivian Neely's eyes.
So that's why I'm aware. I watch everything now. Try not to let nothing get out of my eyesight.
Grow weary with the pain. Every gunshot.
Just get nervous.
Every siren.
Can't hardly breathe when that happens.
Takes her back.
It's just like yesterday.
To that crisp November night.
Every time I hear somebody get shot, it brings me back to her.
1 year ago.
5. She just had the birth of 5.
It was from that same window, propped open with a hammer, she watched as her 5-year-old great-granddaughter was shot by a stray bullet.
Yeah, I made it. I'm mad as hell. Yeah.
A still baby doll and change from the corner store. Images imprinted on a prayerful community as another child fights for her life in the city of Baltimore. It was 4 months earlier that 7-year-old Taylor Hayes was shot and killed while riding in the backseat of a car.
She's always talking about Taylor like Taylor's still here.
Taylor was Amy's big sister.
Is she coming back? I said, no, Amy, she's not coming back.
The wave of horror hit the family as a bullet hit another Hayes. 1 year later, as Neely looks out the window, she still thinks about Taylor, but is thankful for one more chapter.
Yeah, that's what I told her. I said, you made it.
With Amy.
I love you, Penny.
I said, God didn't take both of y'all. He only needed her right then.
Happier days from her new home on Wilkins Avenue. 6-year-old Amy, a girl who many thought would never walk, can now run with her new puppy, Pretty. On this night, we asked her about 1 year ago. She remembers.
I got shot.
But she doesn't want to talk about it. But her life is one worth talking about.
God paid me. He let her live. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. That was all the pay I need.
A little girl who survived against all odds. Well, it doesn't change the view from Miss Neely's window. Amy's life offers a whole new perspective. In West Baltimore, Joy Lambert, Fox 45 News.
Could be an hour on a picture. Start playing with the levels, look at the contrast. There's like highlights in her hair here.
It's a battle of light and dark.
What I'm seeing, what I want to see in my head. It's like, it's a process.
And striking that perfect balance.
And I shoot them in color and then I convert them to black and white.
But great photography develops in darkness.
It was a weird thing to ask these people to give more than they've already given. They gave up. They've lost so much.
1 year ago, a deadly attack inside the Capital Gazette newsroom.
I feel like everyone that has sat has given me a gift of their time and their, being part of my project. But those that gave the most were the families that lost somebody, and then I'm very appreciative of what they've done to be a part of this and to help me tell the story of their people.
His project, Journalists Matter, Faces of the Capital Gazette.
Celine Sanfelice, she's a reporter at the Capital newspaper. She was the first person I photographed for this project.
A photography portfolio that he hopes to show in a gallery.
The pen is mightier than a sword, so I had the idea to have her holding the pen like a sword and a notebook like a shield.
Journalists, survivors, loved ones.
And she was there the day that everything happened. It's been tough, but we're all doing the best we can. So.
23 people.
Pat Ferguson, he covered the story.
Featured in Gillespie's folio. 1 year after the deadly attack inside the Annapolis newsroom.
We're just trying to tell, true stories from our communities.
Each with a unique story.
Lauren Lumpkin, she started after the attack in June. Phil Davis was in the room with us when the attack happened. It's really a remarkable gift because it's very hard, once we start. There's been some tears shed in this room here.
Intimate sessions.
The photo sessions start out, light.
Closed door in Gillespie's basement studio.
And for like an hour, or maybe an hour and a half, we're just talking about things.
Just him and his subject.
And then towards the end, a lot of times if I feel it's going that way, I might say, so what were you doing on June 28th? How did you feel that day? And that's when some of the most emotional pictures come out.
Including this one.
I don't feel like I'm an outsider taking trying to get people to tell these stories, because I was in the room.
A longtime photographer at the Capital Gazette, a survivor of the massacre.
I just can't believe it's been a year. It's been a tough year.
In the same room he questions his subjects, we asked him what he was doing on June 28th.
And I was supposed to photograph the oath of office for the plebes coming to the Naval Academy that evening at 6. I was just looking in the archive at the pictures, and that's when the shooting started.
Gillespie dove under a coworker's desk.
I started thinking, oh my God, this really is happening. I can't believe that I'm going to die here under this desk like this. 3 of the people were right around my desk, so I thought I was next, but he kept going back towards the back of the room.
That's when Gillespie ran.
That's when I heard the shotgun go off again, and I felt a breeze blow past my right ear, and then I ran out the door.
The shooter took 5 lives and forever changed 6 others.
If I didn't run, I think he would have killed everybody in that room, because he had blocked the back door. No one could get out the back door. That's heartbreaking, but it could have been much worse, I think. So it's a weird feeling.
A feeling that's weighed in the months that followed.
You get the survivor's guilt, you got the trauma of being involved.
Gillespie turned his source of pain
I got out my studio lights and stuff, and I set them up, and I started thinking, who can I photograph?
into the foundation for his healing.
I asked Celine, and she agreed. And then I started thinking, this could be, I think I want to photograph everybody.
Everybody, including those left behind.
And then there was the families, you know, that, like I said, gave me the greatest gift of coming to sit for my project. And this is Andrea Chambly. John McNamara was her husband, and John was killed that day. And she's been fighting to, like, you know, try to get gun violence to be a thing of the past, and she's working real hard at it. Which brings me to Wendy Winter's children, Phoenix Geimer, who's serving in the United States Navy now. And Summer Lee was the first one of the family members that I was actually able to photograph. And then there's Winters Geimer. She was wearing a lot of Wendy's clothes, and she had this picture of Wendy, and Wendy's life was so wild. Then I think the last picture that I've printed so far is Maria Hyacinth, Rob Hyacinth's wife. She's kissing Rob right here, about to kiss him, with a giant smile on her face, and here Rob's gone, and she's just heartbroken, and it just tells. That's what I'm trying to do, is let people know that these stories are, they're not just stories, they're people's lives, and they've all been changed forever, and not in a good way, you know, and it's very hard.
Gillespie has 3 more people to photograph.
And it's not just journalism that matters, it is the journalists that matter, because we're people. You know, we're your neighbors, we're your fathers, sons, daughters, you know, sisters, brothers. And we're just trying to do the best job we can and, you know, tell the truth.
He's shining a light on humanity, a light that overcomes even the darkest days. They say don't judge a book by its cover. An unassuming storefront with just a hint of what's inside.
It is extremely chaotic for somebody to come in.
This is something new for us, learning how to make armor out of rubber floor tiles.
It's like this marvelous visual garden of obscurity.
We've got Carmen uniforms.
And history.
And a whole lot of boots and pants.
Theater.
We have our big dry cleaning pressing machine.
A.T. Jones & Sons, founded in 1868, is the oldest operating costume company in the country.
I mean, the costume shop is really almost a national treasure. It's amazing.
Just imagine the stories this book could tell.
So what you're looking at is the end result of 150 years of collecting.
A storied past revealed while weaving through row after row.
Things may reach out and grab your feet as you go.
Floor after floor.
You never know what you're going to get.
In a simultaneous breath, history.
Turn of the century ball gowns and dresses.
And fantasy.
I'm making a dragon.
Are given life.
The eyes can sort of blink.
I'm always amazed at how much we can produce with just 6 people.
Binding it all together.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Look at you. Come here. Hello.
Costumes have been George Gobel's life since...
How about 1950? Can you add that one up?
a past as storied as his shop.
To tell you the truth, we had no money when we bought this business. None. And we had to lie to the banker and said we had $30,000.
An Army veteran.
George is a retired magician.
a creator,
He has an extremely creative mind that somehow sees the answers to these problems and then creates them out of whatever's at hand.
at 86 years old,
Everybody thinks I'm dead, you know. So he says, "Is Mr. George still around?"
ever the careful craftsman, he now sits behind a checkered cloth on the store's first floor,
Nobody else, I don't think, does the work that we do.
letting no details slip through.
We're the only ones that do. You get it all, from your head to your socks.
Most of the shop's employees,
About 30 years.
I've been here almost 25 years.
About 40.
never leave.
What else would I do?
Even George
Yeah, sure.
is having trouble retiring.
I retired, really. I only work 6 days a week. My son works 7 days a week.
But to him, it's never been work.
It's been rewarding. It really has. I think one of the wonderful things about it is the people you meet.
We're close like family. When there's only 6 or 7 of you, you get close pretty fast.
A fearless force in the pursuit of happiness.
9/10 of the people go through life never knowing what they want to do. And at the end of the trail, when they're hit 60 or 69 or 70, or what happened to me? I don't really know. Because I didn't do anything I really liked.
But George did.
You just have to care about people.
Nearly 7 decades later, he still does.
If I were to die today, I think I've had a wonderful life. There's a show called The Wonderful Life, isn't it? Yeah. I think I have.
A rich history that continues to unfold.
But while you're here, you're enjoying it.
In Baltimore, Joy Lambert, Fox 45 News.